Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us today. So, as we know, the Art of Living Foundation, under the leadership of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji, has transformed the world in more than 180 countries. His great grandfather was called Seshadri Iyer Ji. Today, we are going to talk about how Seshadri Iyer's work continues to influence art of living in today's day and age. So, let's start. So, how do you see the values of Seshadri Iyer reflected in the Art of Living's work today? Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us today. So, Seshadri Iyer's vision of holistic development, integrating infrastructure, education, social welfare, and culture resonates profoundly with Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji's work. Just as Seshadri Iyer emphasized the importance of water supply, healthcare, and education for all citizens, Art of Living focuses on empowering individuals through education, stress management, and wellness programs. Courses like the Sudarshan Kriya and happiness program aim to nurture the mind, body, and spirit, reflecting the balanced growth approach that Seshadri Iyer practice is inclusive governance philosophy emphasizing rural development and marginalized communities is mirrored in Art of Living's rural education initiatives, women empowerment programs, and community wellness camps. The DNA of leadership, vision, and compassion has clearly transcended generations, showing how Gurudev embodies the same values in a spiritual and social context. The foundation of ethics, inclusivity, and service that Seshadri Iyer lived by is now amplified through global spiritual education and social initiatives. Indeed, Seshadri Iyer's dedication to civic welfare and infrastructure is echoed in our homas, pujas, and parayan activities. They not only preserve spiritual knowledge but also foster community bonding, social discipline, and ethical living, which are central to the Art of Living's mission. For instance, annual Gayatri Homams and public satsangs promote collective well-being, much like Seshadri Iyer's holistic vision for the community. Now, can you explain how Seshadri Iyer's focus on infrastructure parallels the Art of Living's approach to building community centers and Gurukul facilities? Seshadri Iyer's focus on infrastructure, roads, water supply, electricity, parks, and schools was not merely technical, it aimed to uplift society. Today, Art of Living continues this legacy by creating Gurukul centers, ashrams, and community halls globally. These are carefully planned to provide spiritual education and wellness infrastructure. Much like how Mysore's urban planning integrated amenities for public benefit, the Gurukul at Bangalore International Center, for example, combines classrooms, meditation halls, libraries, and cultural spaces reflecting Iyer's vision of holistic urban development. Every building and facility is designed for inclusive access, fostering harmony, learning, and personal growth. Now, similarly, the Vatican Sanstan's temples and halls are built not only for rituals but also for community welfare. For example, the Pratapa Ganapati temple supports regular Gayatri Homams, Trikal Sandhya, and Agni Karyams, providing both spiritual infrastructure and social cohesion. The emphasis on design, sustainability, and accessibility mirrors Sheshadri Iyer's approach to civic infrastructure. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's promotion of education reflect in current Art of Living education initiatives? The education was at the heart of Seshadri Iyer's administration, from technical schools to literacy programs for marginalized communities. Gurudev's vision echoes this through initiatives like the Art of Living Happiness curriculum, rural development programs, and schools in underserved areas. The goal is holistic development, mental well being, emotional intelligence, and ethical grounding, much like how Iyer sought to educate citizens for civic and social growth. Knowledge is considered transformative, empowering individuals and communities alike. By integrating spiritual wisdom with the practical skills, Art of Living mirrors Seshadri Iyer's emphasis on technical education, literacy, and vocational training. The Vedic Dharma Sansthan complements this by imparting knowledge of scriptures, rituals, and ethical conduct. Students participating in Vedic education programs and Sundarakand Parayanas gain not only spiritual insights but also the values of discipline, compassion, and service, directly reflecting Seshadri Iyer's belief in education as a societal foundation. Now, in what ways are Seshadri Iyer's industrial and economic policies reflected in Art of Living's social and community programs? Seshadri Iyer promoted industries while ensuring social welfare, balancing growth and ethics. Art of Living follows a similar principle by fostering sustainable livelihood programs, rural entrepreneurship, and women empowerment initiatives. The focus is on providing economic opportunity while nurturing human values. For example, self employment workshops, cooperative based micro enterprises, and skill building initiatives reflect Iyer's philosophy. Economic progress must benefit the broader society, not just a few. Sustainability, ethics, and inclusivity remain central to these programs, linking his industrial vision to modern social entrepreneurship. Now, this philosophy is also embedded in Vedic Dharma Sansthan activities, rituals, homas, and charitable projects like feeding programs, medical camps, and temple linked community services generate social benefits while preserving spiritual and cultural values. Economic activities serve social welfare, reflecting Seshadri Iyer's integrated approach. Now, how do Seshadri Iyer's initiatives in water and energy management connect with Art of Living's environmental and sustainability projects? Seshadri Iyer's water reservoirs and hydroelectric projects demonstrated foresight in resource management. Today, Art of Living translates this vision through water conservation drives, renewable energy adoption, and environmental education programs. Projects like sustainable farming initiatives, rainwater harvesting, and energy efficient gurukuls ensure that communities live in harmony with nature. The underlying principle is similar: thoughtful planning, responsible use of resources, and long term sustainability for the welfare of society. Gurudev's teachings often highlight that inner balance and outer environmental stewardship are interlinked, reflecting the same strategic foresight Seshadri showed in infrastructure and resource management. At Vedic Sansthan, water and fire rituals, including Agni Karyams, incorporate ecological awareness. Rituals are conducted sustainably, respecting natural cycle. These practices resonate with Seshadri Iyer's ethos. Spiritual activity and environmental responsibility are intertwined for societal welfare. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's emphasis on women's education manifest in Art of Living initiatives? Seshadri Iyer was a visionary in promoting education and vocational training for women, ensuring their empowerment and inclusion in societal development. Today, Art of Living carries forward this legacy through programs like women's self-development workshops, leadership courses, and vocational training initiatives. These programs empower women to gain emotional resilience, financial independence, and leadership capabilities. Gurudev emphasizes that women's inner transformation catalyzes family and societal well-being, reflecting the same long-term vision Seshadri Iyer had for inclusive education. Additionally, rural women's groups participate in skill building, cooperative ventures, and social service projects, combining empowerment with community welfare. Now, in our temples and Vedic programs, women actively participate in Sanskrit classes, Gayatri homams, and ritual training, preserving cultural knowledge while building confidence and leadership skills. This mirrors Seshadri Iyer's approach: education and training, whether secular or spiritual, empower women to contribute meaningfully to society. Now, can you explain the connection between Seshadri Iyer's urban planning and Art of Living's Gurukul infrastructure? Seshadri Ayers' holistic urban planning combined functional infrastructure, civic amenities, and social spaces, creating thriving communities. Similarly, Art of Living Gurukuls and ashrams are designed as self sufficient centers integrating classrooms, meditation halls, libraries, and recreational areas. Every facility fosters spiritual growth, education, and community engagement. Roads, water, and sanitation systems are meticulously planned, echoing Ayers' attention to urban detail. His emphasis on accessibility and inclusivity is mirrored in Gurukul designs, ensuring that students, volunteers, and visitors from diverse backgrounds can benefit equally. The DNA of a thoughtful infrastructure intended for holistic growth continues in Gurudev's leadership. Now, Vedic Dhamma temples, and satsang halls also embody similar principles. Beyond ritual use, they serve as centers of learning, health camps, and community service, reflecting Seshadri Iyer's vision of integrated civic spaces serving spiritual, social, and practical needs. Now, how are Seshadri Iyer's financial reforms reflected in the operational model of Art of Living? Jagruta Seshadri Iyer ensured Mysore's fiscal stability through transparent budgeting and prudent resource management. Similarly, Art of Living operates with the financial transparency, accountability, and sustainability. Revenue from courses and donations is reinvested in social service projects, disaster relief, rural education, and healthcare initiatives. Like IRS's model, funds are allocated for long term societal benefit rather than short term gains. This ensures that projects are scalable, impactful, and inclusive. Gurudev's leadership reflects the same principle: resources are managed ethically, aligned with the vision of holistic social and spiritual upliftment. Vedic Dhammasasthan operates on similar lines. Donations for homams, parayanas, and temple services are used transparently for cultural preservation, community welfare, and infrastructure development, embodying IRS's approach of ethical financial stewardship for societal progress. Now, in what way does Seshadri Iyer's promotion of public health influence Art of Living's wellness programs? Seshadri Iyer prioritized sanitation, disease prevention, and access to healthcare. Gurudev's wellness initiatives reflect this concern for holistic health programs like Sudarshan Kriya, pranayama workshops, and stress management retreats focused on physical, mental, and emotional well being. In rural and urban areas, Art of Living organizes health camps, awareness drives, and yoga programs, ensuring preventive care and lifestyle education. Much like IER's integrated approach to public health infrastructure, wellness is treated as a community asset, echoing IER's belief that health underpins societal development. Nomadic activities, including ritualistic homas and meditation camps, also contribute to mental and emotional well being. Participants experience stress reduction, spiritual balance, and community harmony, illustrating that public health encompasses both body and mind. Principles Seshadri Iyer valued in his governance. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's emphasis on disaster preparedness manifest in Art of Living's humanitarian initiatives? Seshadri Iyer planned urban infrastructure with the flood control, sanitation, and public safety in mind. Similarly, Art of Living runs disaster relief programs, including flood, earthquake, and drought resistance and assistance. Volunteers are trained in emergency response, first aid, and logistical management. Relief efforts combine material aid, medical support, and psychological guidance, ensuring holistic care. IER's vision of proactive organized planning is reflected in the systematic compassionate response Art of Living provides during crisis, benefiting thousands. Vedic Sansthan complements these efforts through community mobilization, food distribution, and spiritual guidance during emergencies, reflecting IER's principle of integrating infrastructure, foresight, and public welfare for societal resilience. Now, however, Seshadri Iyer's industrial reforms mirrored in Art of Living's livelihood programs. Seshadri Iyer encouraged industries while supporting workers and artisans. Gurudev's livelihood initiatives mirror this by providing skill training, micro enterprise support, and cooperative ventures, particularly for rural populations and women. Programs such as sustainable agriculture, vocational training, and entrepreneurship workshops empower individuals economically while promoting social harmony. Like Iyer, Art of Living ensures that economic progress benefits the wider community, balancing productivity with the human development. Vedic activities also provide economic support. Artisans participating in temple crafts, handicrafts, exhibitions, and festival related services gain livelihoods while preserving culture, reflecting Seshadri Iyer's vision of ethical, inclusive industrial growth. Now, can you describe how Seshadri Iyer's promotion of cultural festivals is reflected in Art of Living's public events? Seshadri Iyer encouraged festivals to foster social cohesion and cultural identity. Similarly, Art of Living organizes mass meditation events, music festivals, world culture festivals, yoga programs, and community celebrations blending spirituality with civic engagement. Events such as the International Day of Yoga, community Diwali celebrations, and large-scale Sudarshan Prayer camps bring people together, promote well-being, and celebrate shared heritage. Like IRS's festivals, they create a sense of unity, pride, and cultural continuity. Now, in Vedic Sansthan Gayatri Homams, Anjani Homams, and Parayanas serve similar purposes. Along with pujas, they preserve traditions, strengthen community bonds, and ensure values like discipline, devotion, and service are transmitted, an extension of IRS's vision for harmonious, culturally vibrant societies. Now, how do Seshadri's environmental initiatives influence Art of Living's ecological projects? Iyer emphasized water management, green spaces, and sustainability. Art of Living reflects this through tree planting drives, sustainable farming, water conservation, and eco friendly construction. Gurudev emphasizes the interconnectedness of inner peace and environmental stewardship. Initiatives such as Lal Bagh restoration drives, organic farming programs, and clean energy adoption in ashrams echo Iyer's foresight in resource management and long term societal welfare. Even in Vedic rituals, sustainability is observed. Fire rituals, water use in homams, and temple maintenance are conducted with the ecological responsibility, reflecting Seshadriyar's principle of integrating resource management with cultural and spiritual practice. Now, how is Seshadri Iyer's ethical governance reflected in Art of Living's organizational leadership? Seshadri promoted integrity, transparency, and accountability. Gurudev's leadership embodies these principles, ensuring ethical management, transparent finances, and merit based volunteer engagement. Decisions that prioritize societal benefit over personal gain. Volunteers are trained to act with honesty, empathy, and discipline. Just as IR strengthened public trust in governance, Gurudev's ethical framework inspires confidence and widespread participation in spiritual and service initiatives globally. Vedic themselves and mirrors this by maintaining transparency in temple activities, homums, and donations. Ethical leadership ensures that resources serve both spiritual preservation and community welfare, continuing IR's legacy of principled administration. In what ways does Seshadri Iyer's commitment to inclusive education resonate in Art of Living's rural programs? Seshadri Iyer's dedication to educating marginalized populations is reflected in Art of Living's rural education initiatives, literacy programs, and vocational training. Programs target underserved villages, offering happiness curriculum, meditation sessions, and skill development. Gurudev's approach ensures that education empowers individuals spiritually, socially, and economically. Inclusion fosters community development, reduces inequality, and build sustainable local leadership. Much like Iyer's vision, these initiatives recognize that human development is foundational to societal growth. Vedic activities in villages, including scriptural teaching, community parayanas, and festival organization, ensure that spiritual knowledge, ethical values, and social cohesion reach all sections, reflecting the same principle of inclusive education Iyer championed. Now, how do Seshadri Iyer's healthcare initiatives inspire Art of Living's medical and wellness projects? Seshadri Iyer emphasized public health, sanitation, and accessible medical care. Art of Living mirrors this through health camps, preventive healthcare workshops, and stress management programs. Gurudev's vision integrates physical, mental, and spiritual health programs like happiness programs, Sudarshan Priya, and yoga workshops enhance immunity, reduce stress, and improve overall well-being. Rural communities benefit through mobile medical units, health awareness drives, and wellness education, reflecting Iyer's principle of accessible healthcare for all. His foresight in combining infrastructure with public health is now translated into holistic human development. Now, Vedic Dhamma complements this through Ayurvedic treatments, Panchakarma sessions, and health focused rituals, ensuring both spiritual and physical well being. These initiatives preserve ancient medical wisdom while improving community health, embodying Iyer's integrated vision. Now, how is Seshadri Iyer's vision of civic infrastructure reflected in Art of Living's global centers? Iyer prioritized functional, accessible, and inclusive infrastructure. Art of Living applies this principle to ashrams, gurukuls, and community centers worldwide, incorporating classrooms, meditation halls, libraries, and green spaces. Each center is designed to support education, spiritual practice, and community service. Accessibility, sustainability, and holistic design ensure that participants benefit fully, just as Iyer's infrastructure enhance my sources civic life. Gurudev's centers provide a safe, enriching spaces for growth and social engagement. Now, similarly, Vedic themselves and temples integrate ritual spaces with community halls, libraries, and educational rooms, serving both spiritual and civic needs. The planning mirrors Iyer's principle of infrastructure for societal development. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's focus on women empowerment influence Art of Living's women programs? So Shadri promoted vocational training and education for women. Gurudev extends this to women-centric courses, leadership workshops, and self-development programs. Women gain confidence, leadership skills, and financial independence. Programs like rural women empowerment and vocational skill training help women contribute to family and community development. Seshadri's foresight that women's empowerment strengthens society is now manifested through spiritual, educational, and social programs, enabling holistic transformation. Now, Vedic programs, including Sanskrit classes, Vedic ritual training, and community participation, empower women spiritually and socially. Their involvement preserves tradition while enhancing leadership, echoing Iyer's vision. Now, how do Seshadri Iyer's education reforms inspire Art of Living's happiness curriculum? Iyer prioritized inclusive education and literacy. Art of Living's happiness curriculum integrates emotional intelligence, mindfulness, ethical values, and stress management into school education. Students learn life skills alongside academics, fostering holistic growth. The program reflects Iyer's approach of combining knowledge with the moral and social responsibility. It ensures that education benefits individuals and society, creating conscious, compassionate citizens. Gurudev's vision extends Iyer's legacy into a spiritual and psychological dimension, blending ancient wisdom with the modern pedagogy. Complementary to this, Vedic programs teach scriptural knowledge, ethical conduct, and community responsibility, reinforcing the values promoted in happiness curriculum, aligning with Iyer's vision of education as a tool for societal transformation. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's promotion of industrial innovation connect with Art of Living's livelihood projects? Seshadri Iyer modernized industries while ensuring social welfare. Art of Living mirrors this by supporting rural livelihoods, micro enterprises, and skill based entrepreneurship programs. Initiatives like sustainable agriculture, handicraft promotion, and cooperative ventures provide economic opportunity while respecting tradition and community values. Gurudev emphasizes ethical growth, similar to Iyer, ensuring prosperity benefits society at large. The integration of skill, sustainability, and social service reflects the same holistic industrial vision. Now, Vedic Samsastan promotes artists and livelihoods through temple crafts, festival-based economic activities, and cultural preservation, ensuring economic empowerment while maintaining cultural heritage, continuing IES's inclusive industrial model. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's environmental foresight inspire Art of Living's ecological initiatives? IES projects in water management, green spaces, and energy foresaw long term sustainability. Art of Living translates this vision through tree plantations, organic farming, renewable energy adoption, and water conservation programs. Gurudev emphasizes the link between inner and environmental balance. Initiatives like eco camps and sustainable gurukuls reflect IER's principal planning for resource sustainability ensures societal well being. These efforts demonstrate that environmental responsibility is integral to spiritual and social development. Nomadic rituals and homums are conducted sustainably, respecting natural resources. Practices like controlled fire rituals and water use reflect IER's ethos of ecological responsibility combined with spiritual practice. Now, how is Seshadri Iyer's vision of inclusivity reflected in Art of Living's rural outreach programs? Iyer's governance prioritizes marginalized communities. Art of Living implements this through education, health camps, women empowerment, and community development projects. Programs focus on improving livelihoods, reducing inequality, and promoting social cohesion. Gurudev ensures that spiritual, educational, and economic initiatives reach all sections, embodying Iyer's vision of inclusive growth. The emphasis is on creating self sufficient, conscious communities empowered to participate in their own development. Similarly, Vedic Dhamsansthan ensures rural participation in homums, parayanas, and community rituals, preserving tradition while fostering inclusivity, echoing Iyer's holistic governance approach. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's promotion of cultural festivals resonate in Art of Living's global events? Iyer used festivals to strengthen community bonds and preserve culture. Art of Living organizes mass meditation events, music festivals, International Day of Yoga celebrations, and global Sudarshan Kriya camps. These events bring diverse communities together, fostering spiritual growth, cultural pride, and social harmony. Like Iyer, Gurudev ensures that celebrations promote inclusivity, wellness, and civic engagement, blending tradition with modern community building practices. Vedic festivals and homums such as the Gayatri homums and the Anjaneya homums preserve cultural identity while encouraging community participation. These reflect Iyer's vision of integrating spirituality, culture, and social cohesion. Now, how do Seshadri Iyer's urban sanitation initiatives inspire Art of Living's hygiene and health campaigns? Iyer implemented drainage, clean water, and waste management systems. Art of Living's rural sanitation drives, clean water projects, and hygiene awareness programs mirror this vision. Health education, preventive care, and lifestyle training ensure sustainable community well-being. Gurudev emphasizes that cleanliness and health are integral to inner and outer harmony, reflecting Iyer's principle of infrastructure supporting holistic societal welfare. Vedic activities integrate hygiene with ritual practices. Temples maintain sanitation, water management, and eco-friendly practices, reflecting Iyer's belief that infrastructure and ethical practice together support community health. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's ethical leadership resonate in Art of Living's volunteer and organizational culture? Iyer's integrity, transparency, and accountability are foundational to Gurudev's leadership. Volunteers operate with discipline, honesty, and empathy, ensuring projects serve societal welfare. Ethical decision making guides both spiritual and social initiatives. Just as Iyer inspired public trust through principled governance, Gurudev instills confidence and responsibility in volunteers globally, creating a culture of ethical service, transparency, and compassion in action. Vedic Dhammasasthan embodies these values in temple management, donation handling, and ritual organization, reflecting Iyer's emphasis on principled leadership that benefits society and preserves tradition. Now, how do Seshadri Iyer's water management initiatives inspire Art of Living's sustainable water projects? Seshadri Iyer's foresight in constructing reservoirs and ensuring clean water supply laid the foundation for holistic urban planning. Art of Living continues its legacy through rainwater harvesting, pond rejuvenation, water literacy campaigns, and sustainable irrigation projects. Gurudev emphasizes that water is a vital resource, linking environmental stewardship and community health. These initiatives ensure villages and urban communities access clean water, reduce scarcity, and promote sustainable practices. Just as Iyer ensures civic well being through water management, Art of Living ensures long term ecological and social sustainability through responsible water initiatives. Nomadic programs incorporate ritualistic and practical water conservation measures like maintaining temple ponds and guiding communities on eco friendly water use. This reflects Iyer's principle that infrastructure, environment, and spirituality must converge for societal welfare. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's promotion of electricity and energy efficiency reflect in Art of Living's centers? IR's introduction of hydroelectric power and street lighting modernized Mysore. Art of Living integrates similar foresight by adopting renewable energy, solar power, and energy efficient lighting in ashrams and gurukuls. Sustainability is central, minimizing ecological impact while providing uninterrupted service. Just as IR's energy projects enhance urban life, these initiatives ensure spiritual education and wellness programs operate efficiently and responsibly, blending modern technology with ecological mindfulness. Now, Vedic facilities incorporate eco friendly energy systems, ensuring rituals and community activities run sustainably. This principle mirrors Iyer's belief that technological progress must serve societal welfare. How do Seshadri Iyer's parks and recreation spaces inspire Art of Living's green campuses? Iyer developed parks and gardens to promote public well being and aesthetic harmony. Art of Living reflects this by creating green Gurukul campuses, meditation gardens, and eco parks that encourage relaxation, reflection, and learning. Green spaces enhance mental health, promote environmental consciousness, and foster community engagement. Gurudev emphasizes the balance between nature and personal growth, echoing Iyer's vision of integrating functionality, aesthetics, and well being in urban planning. Now, temple gardens and Vedic campus greenery similarly provide serene environments for spiritual practice and community interaction. These spaces preserve cultural heritage while promoting environmental consciousness, reflecting Iyer's foresight in urban greenery. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's approach to urban sanitation influence Art of Living's rural health programs? Iyer's emphasis on sanitation, drainage, and hygiene ensured public health. Art of Living extends this through village sanitation drives, clean water projects, health education, and waste management programs. Communities learn preventive care, reducing disease incidence and improving quality of life. Gurudev's philosophy connects external cleanliness with inner well-being, reflecting Iyer's integrated vision for civic welfare. Rural populations benefit from improved hygiene, education, and lifestyle awareness, fostering holistic development. Vedic programs emphasize rural cleanliness, ritual cleanliness, water purification, and community hygiene, combining spiritual practice with public health, echoing Iyer's approach to sanitation as a pillar of societal well-being. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's vision of ethical governance resonate in Art of Living's volunteer leadership? IER's transparency and integrity shape public trust. Art of Living instills similar principles in volunteers through training in ethics, accountability, and service oriented leadership. Decision making prioritizes societal and spiritual benefit over personal gain. Just as IER's ethical administration empowers citizens and inspired confidence, Gurudev's leadership fosters integrity and responsibility, ensuring projects are executed with the maximum positive impact. Vedic Dham Sansthan mirrors this through transparent management of donations, ritual organization, and service initiatives, reflecting Iyer's principle that ethical governance is the foundation of sustainable societal progress. Now, how do Seshadri Iyer's industrial policies influence Art of Living's community enterprise model and programs? Iyer encouraged industrial growth while ensuring social welfare. Art of Living applies this principle in rural entrepreneurship, artisan skill development, and cooperative ventures, combining economic development with social responsibility. Communities gain sustainable livelihoods while preserving cultural traditions. Gurudev emphasizes ethical entrepreneurship, echoing Iyer's vision that growth must benefit all segments of society, fostering equitable prosperity. Nomadic programs similarly provide artisans and local communities with the opportunities through temple crafts, festival services, and vocational support, integrating cultural preservation with the livelihood enhancement, reflecting Iyer's inclusive industrial vision. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's commitment to cultural preservation resonate in Art of Living's music and arts initiatives? Iyer promoted classical music, festivals, and arts education. Art of Living continues this by organizing music festivals, cultural workshops, and classical arts programs, nurturing talent while promoting cultural identity. Gurudev emphasizes the transformational power of art for inner peace and social harmony by blending tradition with modern pedagogy. These initiatives reflect Iyer's commitment to cultural enrichment and societal cohesion. Now, Vedic programs similarly preserve Vedic chants, classical rituals, and temple arts, ensuring cultural heritage thrives alongside community engagement, echoing Iyer's philosophy of integrating culture into societal development. How does Seshadri Iyer's approach to social equity inspire Art of Living's inclusive programs? Iyer prioritized marginalized communities, ensuring access to education, healthcare, and opportunities. Art of Living mirrors this through rural education, women empowerment, healthcare initiatives, and livelihood support, promoting equitable development. Gurudev emphasizes that social inclusion strengthens communities and spiritual growth. Programs are designed to be accessible to all, reducing disparities and fostering participation. reflecting Iyer's principle that societal welfare is inseparable from equality. Now, Vedic initiatives ensure ritual participation, spiritual education, and service opportunities reach all sections, reinforcing Iyer's vision that inclusivity strengthens both community and culture. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's promotion of civic welfare reflect in Art of Living's global social service projects? IR's civic projects improved public welfare through education, sanitation, and healthcare. Art of Living mirrors this through global social service initiatives, including disaster relief, rural development, education, and health programs. The principle is universal infrastructure, awareness, and organized supports uplift communities. Gurudev ensures projects are sustainable, inclusive, and spiritually grounded, reflecting IR's holistic approach to societal development. Navadic themselves support similar initiatives via temple and community programs, charitable activities, and disaster response, blending spiritual practice with civic responsibility, reflecting Iyer's vision. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's integration of culture and governance influence Art of Living's educational and spiritual approach? Iyer intertwined governance with the cultural preservation. Art of Living similarly integrates spirituality, ethics, and education into all programs. Courses like the Happiness Curriculum, Youth Empowerment, and Gurukul programs teach values alongside skills, fostering conscious citizens. Gurudev emphasizes that inner development enhances societal function, just as Iyer balanced modernization with tradition. Art of Living balances global outreach with cultural roots, ensuring development remains ethical and value based. Now, Vedic activities combine rituals, education, and community engagement, reinforcing ethical, cultural, and spiritual values in society, mirroring Iyer's model of governance integrated with culture. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's foresight in urban planning inspire Art of Living campus designs? Yes, Jayadev Seshadri Iyer planned Mysore with the functional infrastructure, public spaces, and community integration. Art of Living applies this principle in designing ashrams, gurukuls, and wellness centers. Centers integrate classrooms, meditation halls, libraries, and eco-friendly green spaces, ensuring a harmonious environment for learning, reflection, and service. Accessibility for diverse participants mirrors Iyer's inclusive approach. Gurudev's vision combines modern infrastructure with the spiritual principles, reflecting Iyer's holistic urban foresight. The thoughtful planning ensures that centers nurture body, mind, and spirit while fostering community cohesion and sustainability. Nomadic themselves and temples follow similar planning principles. Halls, ritual spaces, and community areas are designed for comfort, spiritual engagement, and educational activities, preserving tradition while enhancing societal participation, echoing Iyer's integrated urban vision. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's water supply projects influence the Art of Living's ecological initiatives? Iyer's reservoirs and water management systems enhance urban well-being. Art of Living mirrors this through rainwater harvesting, river rejuvenation projects, and sustainable irrigation programs. Gurudev emphasizes ecological awareness as a part of holistic development. Communities learn to conserve water, manage resources responsibly, and develop sustainable agriculture practices. Just as Iyer prioritized water infrastructure for public benefit, Art of Living ensures ecological initiatives support human, social, and environmental welfare, linking inner well-being with environmental stewardship. Now, rituals like Agni Karyams and water-related homums are conducted sustainably, integrating spiritual practice with ecological mindfulness. Communities are educated on water conservation, reflecting Iyer's foresight in resource management. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's emphasis on education inspire Art of Living's youth empowerment programs? IRS's reforms emphasize literacy, technical training, and moral education. Art of Living's youth empowerment programs mirror this by developing leadership, emotional intelligence, and ethical values. Participants engage in community service, meditation, and skill building activities, preparing them to contribute meaningfully to society. Gurudev's vision extends IRS's principles, combining intellectual growth with spiritual development. Education is holistic, focusing not just on knowledge but on character, well being, and societal contribution. Vedic programs involve youth in scriptural learning, ritual participation, and community service, preserving cultural heritage while fostering responsibility, mirroring Iyer's inclusive approach to youth education. Now, how do Seshadri Iyer's women empowerment initiatives resonate in Art of Living's rural programs? Iyer promoted female education and vocational skills. Art of Living extends this through women's self-development workshops, rural entrepreneurship programs, and skill training initiatives. Women gain confidence, economic independence, and leadership abilities. Gurudev emphasizes that empowered women uplift families and communities, reflecting Iyer's vision of inclusive societal progress. These programs combine skill building, spiritual practice, and community engagement, ensuring holistic empowerment that aligns with Iyer's legacy of progressive social reform. Vedic programs encourage women to participate in rituals, homums, and educational initiatives, blending cultural preservation with the empowerment, echoing Iyer's belief in women as pillars of societal growth. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's industrial policy inspire Art of Living's livelihood initiatives? Iyer focused and fostered industries while supporting workers and artisans. Art of Living mirrors this through rural livelihoods, artisan skill development, cooperative ventures, and micro enterprises. These programs ensure economic growth benefits the entire community. Gurudev emphasizes ethical entrepreneurship, sustainability, and social impact. Participants learn not only practical skills but also values like integrity and cooperation. Iyer's vision of industrial development aligned with social welfare is reflected in these initiatives, combining skill, ethics, and prosperity. Nomadic initiatives support artisans and communities through temple crafts, festival related services, and vocational programs, ensuring livelihoods while preserving culture and values, embodying Iyer's inclusive industrial philosophy. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's promotion of cultural heritage resonate in Art of Living's music and arts programs? Iyer promoted the classical arts, festivals, and cultural education. Art of Living continues this through musical festivals, art workshops, and cultural programs, blending tradition with modern expression. Gurudev emphasizes the transformative power of art for personal and societal well being. Participants experience inner peace, creativity, and cultural connection, reflecting Iyer's vision of integrating cultural enrichment into community development. Vedic programs preserve Vedic chanting, temple rituals, and traditional arts, ensuring that culture thrives alongside community engagement. This mirrors Iyer's integration of cultural promotion within governance. How does Seshadri Iyer's public health focus inspire Art of Living's wellness initiatives? IR's focus on sanitation, preventive medicine, and healthcare access is reflected in Art of Living's happiness program. Sudarshan Kriya, yoga workshops, and rural health camps. Physical, mental, and emotional well being are emphasized, ensuring communities develop holistically. Gurudev connects inner wellness with outer health, reflecting IR's integrated approach to societal well being. Preventive education reduces disease incidence and fosters long term community resilience. Vedic initiatives like Ayurvedic treatments, Panchakarma, and meditation based wellness programs complement this approach, improving health outcomes while preserving traditional knowledge, echoing Iyer's public health vision. Now, how do Seshadri Iyer's disaster management strategies influence Art of Living's humanitarian projects? Iyer's foresight and urban planning included preparedness for floods and crises. Art of Living mirrors this through disaster relief, emergency response training, and community resilience programs. Volunteers provide medical aid, food, shelter, and psychological support. Gurudev emphasizes proactive planning, ethical action, and compassionate service. Iyer's model of integrating infrastructure and civic welfare is reflected in the organized large-scale humanitarian response of Art of Living. Now, Vedic Dhamma complements these efforts through community mobilization, disaster focused rituals, and relief distribution, integrating spiritual and social supporting during crisis, reflecting Iyer's holistic vision. How does Seshadri Iyer's ethical governance resonate in Art of Living's organizational culture? IR's integrity, transparency, and accountability build public trust. Art of Living ensures ethical conduct in volunteer management, financial accountability, and project execution. Decisions prioritize societal welfare, sustainability, and spiritual integrity. Gurudev's leadership exemplifies IR's values, creating a culture of trust, responsibility, and ethical service. Volunteers are trained to act with honesty and compassion, ensuring projects deliver maximum social impact while preserving ethical standards. Now, Vedic Dhamma reflects these principles through transparent donation management, ritual execution, and community services, demonstrating that ethical leadership is foundational to sustained societal well being, just as Iyer envisioned. Now, how does Shadri Iyer's integration of infrastructure, culture, and welfare inspire Art of Living's global initiatives? Iyer's vision combines civic infrastructure, cultural preservation, and social welfare. Art of Living mirrors this by integrating Gurukul infrastructure, cultural programs, wellness initiatives, and rural development projects globally. Gurudev emphasizes that holistic development involves education, inner well being, cultural connection, and community service. Just as Iyer's initiatives create thriving, inclusive communities, Art of Living ensures its programs nurture balanced, conscious, and empowered communities worldwide. Vedic programs echo this integration through temple linked education, homes, cultural events, and social service, creating ecosystems where spiritual, cultural, and social welfare converge, reflecting Iyer's holistic vision. Now, how does Seshadri Iyer's emphasis on sanitation influence the Art of Living's rural hygiene programs? Seshadri Iyer implemented efficient drainage, clean water supply, and waste management systems to improve public health. Art of Living mirrors this through village sanitation drives, clean water initiatives, waste segregation workshops, and hygiene education camps. Communities are educated on preventive health measures, personal hygiene, and sustainable practices. Gurudev emphasizes the connection between external cleanliness and inner well-being, reflecting Ayer's principle that civic infrastructure and ethical behavior go hand in hand to build a healthy society. Vedic programs also integrate hygiene with the spiritual practice. Temple premises maintain clean water, eco-friendly waste disposal, and ritual cleanliness, teaching communities to harmonize spiritual and physical well-being, echoing Ayer's foresight in public health and sanitation in Jagadev.